All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. So glad that you could be with us today to tune in to today's episode. I am Tamika Walker Kelly, your favorite music teacher and president of the North Carolina Association of Educators. And if you realize, yes, today is not Tuesday, this is a Monday edition, a special edition of Tuesdays with Tamika because Tuesday is election day. And so I am very pleased, excited to have two special guests joining me this evening, and I'm going to bring them up. I have Valerie Jordan for State Senate District 3 and Marcia Morgan for State Senate District 7. So I'm going to bring them up to the screen here. Hello, hello, ladies.
Hello.
Excellent, excellent. Glad to have you both. And they are both pro public education supporters and they are both NCAE endorsed candidates. So, Valerie and Marcia, welcome to Tuesdays with Tamika on Monday. Would you like to say hello to our audience?
Yes, hello audience. How's everybody?
Excellent. And Marcia?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? It's great to have a chance to talk to you today.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, when everybody is watching this episode, it is a Monday. We know that early voting has ended because early voting ended on November the 5th, and the election is tomorrow. So, in a moment, I will ask you to share a little bit about why you are the right candidate to represent their interests, our interests in public schools and public school educators and students and communities. But first, can you tell us a little bit about your background? And I will go to Marcia first.
All right, great. Thank you for the opportunity. I guess I would say that I was pretty much raised as a teacher. My background is in education. I started out working in Head Start programs when I was still getting my undergraduate degree. I taught in the public schools. I taught at Ohio State while I was getting my master's and PhD. I was on graduate faculty at Smith College. And after I went in the military, I went back into teaching. I actually taught ROTC at Berkeley. So I've had quite a range from all economic levels, all I want to say economical, the gamut from the very poor to the very privileged, and kind of anywhere in between, from conservative to liberal. So really have had an opportunity to see and deal with teachers and education in all aspects of life.
Excellent. And Valerie?
Well, it's such an honor to be with you today, Tamika. And you are such a fearless leader with NCAE. And it's just a gift to spend time with, you and my team member and, the people that's tuning in today. So we are in the home stretch of our campaign. But I was also inspired to see your email tagline, "We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes," from Ella Baker. And I'm proud to be born and raised in my district, Senate District 3, which we have about 10 counties. And it's also where the civil rights hero Ella Baker actually hails from. So we have a strong history of change makers, but our rural community is often overlooked. I'm very excited today because of the educators and the community members who pushed me to find my voice. I grew up in the tobacco fields of Warrenton and went to local public schools. But while in high school, I became a mother. And I had the greatest gift of my life, my daughter, Marquita, that, of course, she was also raised in public schools. And my mother was also a teacher assistant. So public schools is very important. Now, it was a challenging but beautiful time, but this is where my community showed up for me, and they did not give up on my potential. So I just also wanted everybody to know that I am a proud North Carolina Central University graduate, Go Eagles. I'm a double Eagle, Warren County High School Eagles. And, I'm also now running my own small business. And this is where I decided to become a first-time candidate in the district, because what I believe is that we deserve more investments in our beloved community. I want to serve, and so that our children deserve more freedom to building fulfilling lives. So I'm so grateful that NCAE also endorsed me.
Wonderful. I really love hearing your stories and your connections to public schools, because that is important, because we know our community, like you both, love their public schools. And so people definitely need to hear that. So one of the things I said earlier is that election day is tomorrow. Crossing our fingers, right? Although we have shared with our members why we endorsed your candidacy for state senate for both of you, here is your chance to speak directly to NCAE members in your respective districts about your campaign and why you should represent them and public education in the General Assembly. So first, Ms. Jordan, I will turn it over to you. Why you?
I mean, well, I'm a proud product of Warren County Public Schools. I'm a proud product of North Carolina Public Schools. And I'm just so grateful for the education that I received. Because I believe that every child deserves a high quality, well-funded public schools where they work, live, and play. A school should be a place of critical thinking and healthy and safe place for students to learn. The current legislators should first focus on ensuring our schools has the basics, especially when it comes to facilities that meet the needs. Now, in my district, my schools in District 3, I spent time in there and I'm seeing that we need some improvement for outdated infrastructure. But more importantly, I want to see teachers, teachers' assistants, principals, custodians, school bus drivers, counselors, district staff, and every one of those superheroes that's actually involved in the schools because they need to be paid more. Now, as soon as I'm elected to the General Assembly, I'm going to hit the ground running on building that momentum to put that funding for, that next budget. So again, this is going to require me to work with brave people and work with NCAE, and so that we can have, getting our things that our kids deserve.
Absolutely. And Marcia, Ms. Morgan.
Well, and I would go along, echo everything that Valerie has been saying. I'm the youngest of 4 kids, and my father died when I was 2. So grew up in a single parent home, and through, I'm the product of public education as well. And I know that because of that and because of a quality education, I was able to achieve a lot of the successes that I've had in life. That's from not only from my growing up, very committed to that experience, and because I know what that quality education can do for people. And then again, as having been a teacher myself, I'm very dedicated to helping them get the respect that they have earned, that they deserve. Our budget, our state budget, any budget tells you what that organization values. Mm-hmm. And you look at the state budget, and it is not valuing education where it needs to be. And we have got to change that while working with Valerie and with other folks in the Senate. We have got to raise all of the teacher pay, the assistants. We have to get more assistants in the school programs. I've helped at one of the middle schools near me where the books are held together with duct tape, where there were a limited number of laptops available or iPads to go into a classroom. And so the teachers had to check them out and fight over who got to have the cart with the iPads for class this day. I bought books for the library because they didn't have the money to get the ones that they needed in the school. So absolutely want to fight for the teacher pay, for the parts of the infrastructure, but I also want to fight for the preschool programs, because the nurturing, the development, whether it's the food or the mental stimulation that occurs in that 3 to 5 year old gap is so critical to then being able to start and have a better ability to learn and to have a good educational experience, and that we need after school programs that will help the students as well and help keep them off the streets or help teach them a skill that they can use later in life. All of these things come back to that quality education. And I would say, as I look around here, the issues that I see going on could be so greatly impacted by that quality education. If students had science classes, they'd understand that climate change is real. They would understand the issues of when we have a corporation that's dumping poison into the river. They would understand government and that there are 3 branches of government and how they function. They would go back to the critical thinking. Again, what Valerie mentioned, that it's not, you can't just go on and Google something and expect it to be true. They have to learn how to think through the issues. So as I said, just about everything that I see as an issue today can be addressed with that quality public education. And we need to make sure that I know one of the issues that we are dealing with is taking money out of the public schools to put it into charter schools, into private schools, and into religious schools. We have to safeguard the public education that is deserved by all of our students in the state.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my gosh, you both touched on so many important issues to educators, like making sure that we have safe buildings. And when I mean safe, like buildings with updated air and heating, windows that open and close, making sure there's not mold in the school building. You talk about some of the important resources that we need in our schools. So shout out to our pre-K and early childhood educators, but also our staff that does after school care. Shout out to them as well. But then most importantly, making sure that we keep public dollars in public schools. So thank you so much for hitting on all of those issues, both of you. Well, I am really excited, and I told you this time will go by really fast. And so we only have one more question. And the last question is, so where are you going to be watching the election results tomorrow evening? And I'll start with you, Marcia.
Great question. I can't say that I really know for sure. The county party is going to have an event at Good Hop Supply Company on Oleander, and I'll run by there for a little bit. And then I had promised one of my strong supporters is a blockade runner that I would run by her location for a little bit. And then mostly I'm going to be home quietly recovering.
I understand that. And Valerie, what are you going to do on election night?
Well, I am going to be excited to watch the election results, surrounded by my family, friends, and supporters in my hometown of Warren County. But also just want to thank everybody so much for this time. And if you haven't been able to do early voting yet, please, please, please take the time out tomorrow. The polls open at 6:30 a.m. and they close at 7:30 p.m. so that you can make your voice heard. So thank you, everybody, for this time.
Oh, no, a problem. We are always glad to welcome pro-public education candidates to platforms where we get to engage with educators and our public school community allies as well. And just like you heard Valerie say, if you didn't get a chance to go during early voting, then you still have election day, which is tomorrow. And the polls open at 6:30 a.m. and they close at 7:30. However, helpful tip, if you are in line, stay in line because you are allowed to vote. So don't leave if you are in line, but make a plan for tomorrow. Well, I want to thank both Valerie Jordan and Marcia Morgan, because you will see those names on your ballot in your respective Senate districts, who are NCAE endorsed candidates for both District 3 and District 7. Thank you so much for your time today. And want to just let people know, of course, we will be doing updates all during election day tomorrow. And also there are more episodes post-election about Tuesdays with Tamika that will happen on Tuesday. So don't worry about it. Are there any last things either one of you want to say to our audience?
Just want to say thank you so much for this time.
Excellent.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for your time. And thank you for the teachers that we really need your votes.
Yes.
These are going to be close elections and every vote does count.
That's right.
Please make your voice heard. Let people know that you deserve the best.
Take that Apple Card in there with you guys.
That's right. That's right. Just like Marcia said and Valerie said, every vote matters, and education, public education is on the ballot. And so your votes are necessary. So use your teacher voice, your educator voice at the ballot box on election day. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being on Tuesdays with Tamika. And to my audience, I will see you next Tuesday on Tuesday. So have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.